and women. The Brotherhood, which he called the Cult of the Damned, it promised its acolytes social equality and eternal life on Azeroth in exchange for their service and obedience in Ner'zhul. As months passed, Kel'Thuzad found many eager volunteers for his new cult among the tired, overburdened labourers of Lordaeron. It was surprisingly easy for Kel'Thuzad to achieve his goals, namely to transfer the citizens' faith in the Holy Light into belief in Ner'zhul's dark shadow. As the Cult of the Damned grew in size and influence, Kel'Thuzad made sure to hide its workings from the authorities of Lordaeron. With Kel'Thuzad's success in Lordaeron, the Lich King made the final preparations for his assault against the human civilization, placing his plague energies into a number of portable artifacts called plague cauldrons. Ner'zhul ordered Kel'Thuzad to transport the plague cauldrons to Lordaeron, where they would be hidden within various cult-controlled villages. The cauldrons, protected by the loyal cultists, would then act as plague generators, sending the plague seeping out across the unsuspecting farmlands and cities of northern Lordaeron. The Lich King's plan worked perfectly. Many of Lordaeron's northern villages were contaminated almost immediately. Just as in Northrend, citizens who contracted plague died and rose as the Lich King's willing servants. The cultists under Kel'Thuzad were eager to die and be raised again in the Dark Lord's service. They exulted in the prospect of immortality through undeath. As the plague spread, more and more feral zombies arose in Northlands. Kel'Thuzad looked upon the Lich King's growing army and named it the Scourge, for soon it would march again upon the gates of Lordaeron and scour humanity from the face of the world. And just to double check, I do believe I reached the end of this. Yes. Blessed be the light. I need your help. On my way into the Hillsbrad, I noticed several families of adorable little deer. So I went out to pet one of the little fawns. A ravenous mountain cat leapt out and killed it. Fled to Tower Mill and swore to solve the plight of the hill fawn. Now, after many days of tinkering, I have created the hill fawn's salvation. Take my wand into the fields to the west and use it to empower the wee hill fawns. Once empowered, they'll be able to fend for themselves.
Hold your head high.
A fellow bleeding heart. Hopefully we won't get like some one-handed weapon now in a mo, because I just disenchanted my latest orb. Okay, let's talk to you. So you, and you. And I got some white illusion dust at some stage there. Alright. Out of curiosity, has trying to see. Yeah, there's still different types of dust. Good. It just, like with alchemy, there's only like one type of vial now. I'm just making sure Blizzard didn't go crazy and remove all the different types of dust. Will be certainly a jump, but oh, I won't be surprised. Hillfawn saved in quotes. I'm not looking forward to this then. Maybe not a fellow bleeding heart. So this is pretty embarrassing. Where to begin? Well, you see, Marissa sent me to investigate the Yeti menace in nearby caves, west of here. It was getting late, and my armor was weighing heavily on me. I took off my gear and decided to take a stroll. Yes, I went for a walk. Anyway, when I returned, I discovered that my gear had been stolen. It was the Yetis, I'm sure of it. They took my pants, sword, and helm, and ran off into the cave. Get them back for me, and I will reward you. For years, the mountain Yeti of this region had been allowed to reign free. Our complacency in dealing with the Yeti menace has resulted in an aberration. Yetimus, ward of all Yetis, has grown to a size and strength that our guards simply cannot handle. For fear that should his appetite lead him near Terran Mill, he would devour us all. Gather a party of suitable adventurers, and dispatch the beast. He roams the countryside to the west. Bring me one of his horns, and I will reward you handsomely. There's an orb. Better one. Alright. Derek Nightfall.
Speak quickly.
Derek Nightfall, at your service. Ever had a stag witch? Me neither. Apparently they're delicious. No, I'm not one for eating, but I am a businessman. If my customers want stag witches, who am I to argue? You're probably asking yourself, what does this have to do with me? I'll tell you what, Warlock. I need stag meat. You get me stag meat from the hill stags of Hillsbred, and I'll pay you. Sounds like a pretty good deal, doesn't it? Get going? Stags are most plentiful to the west. Pretty good, if you're into eating. Doesn't actually tell me.
Trust no one.
Like, you can't actually eat that, I don't think. Here's Tao. Monica's Den Guts. Kursk. Our outpost in the southeast is having some problems. I don't have any details other than, let me just read from the latest letter. The orcs have growing petulant. Send help, or I'll have them beaten with reeds. That's it. It was sent from our chief psychosopher, Niles Beatrot. Yeah, I have no idea what that means either. Could you please head to East Point Tower and find out what he needs? Can't take any more of these cryptic letters. Just head south and follow the road east. That sounds like psychologist mixed with philosopher, and they now have Niles in there. Though it's missing an E. I can't help but think of, Frasier. That Niles. Okay, first and foremost, we'll seek the aid of the Frostwolves. For a moment there, I was swearing the tune. Christ, that's something playing on ending. The tune there was meant to be a bit of Lament of the Highborn. Sorry. It was just like holding the same note for so long, it was actually driving me mad. Ugh, my head is frazzled from it. War Master Lagrond, Doric Ironside. There's Smoky Pastures person. You see these every so often. Sometimes they have their own like smoky pasture stuff, I think, rather than just generic food. I'm in charge of recruitment for the Frostwolf clan. As a soldier of Frostwolf, it is your responsibility to check in with me as your rank among the clan rises. Honor, respect are earned on this frigid field. Frostwolf battle standard. Mark of Honor. You used to be able to get Altrak. Ooh, health and mana. Nice. You used to be able to get Altrak marks, battle marks before, or whatever they're called. You used to be able to get marks for each of the different PvP zones. Up to sometime during Burning Crusade. They removed these things and just replaced them with PvP points. Well, PvP points were already in it, but PvP points were expanded to include what the Marks of Honor used to hold. Now, in Legion, they brought in this type of Mark of Honor. Maybe the old stuff wasn't called Marks of Honor, but I don't remember what they're called. Now there's these Marks of Honor here, which you use to buy old legacy stuff. And there's also a few Dons throughout classic WoW. Like here's Don Rodrigo's band. There's a couple different Dons, and they all have different gear named after them. But anyway, Peeling the Onion, the how-to guide on dismantling the Stormpike by Drektar.
Go forth to victory.
Peeling the Onion, the how-to guide on dismantling the Stormpike by Drektar. Within these pages you'll find a wealth of knowledge on battle tactics and politics. The learned soldier is the soldier that leans on the shoulder of experience. Let this book serve as a guide in your battle for Alterac Valley. Chapter 1, The Front Line. Dismantling the Stormpike army is very much like peeling an onion. To get to the core, you must start by removing the outermost layers. The front lines, comprising mostly of Stormpike mountaineers and Alliance sentinels, are tied to the captain's bunker. It is Captain Blind the Stormheart who empowers these units and provides for reinforcements when the lines are under siege. Strike at the captain, and the frontline forces will crumble. The Twin Towers. Make no mistake, Vandar Stormpike is a cunning foe, and certainly no fool. Once front line has been breached, the secondary defensive targets still must be destroyed. It is the Twin Towers of Stoneheart and Icewing which control the Stormpike guardsmen outside of Dunbalder and the Stormpike controls. Beware, soldier, for both of these towers are heavily fortified and ruled over by one of Vandar's elite commanders. Should your forces breach the fortifications, make sure that the commanders within has been silenced. This too will be part of dismantling the Stormpike. I don't think the commanders are still in the game anymore. They might be, but I swear that was a classic thing. Let's look this up. WoW AV Commander. Hey folks, sorry for that abrupt cut there. I went and looked up Alterac Valley because they're talking about commanders here, and I think they're removed. There was War Masters or something mentioned. I didn't really look too far into it, but I don't see any mention of any commanders. We always wing commanders, but that was it. But they aren't in bunkers or towers, so I think the commanders have been removed. There was sometime in Classic, there was a big downscaling on the amount of NPCs within AV, so I think they were removed then. I just sent. I also have Twitter open here while I was reading that. Let me just send this thing to myself to read it later. But anyway, I went to WoWWiki. I didn't see any mention of commanders now. Maybe I missed it, maybe they just used a different phrase. But the reason why I cut the footage was it started playing an ad. And I was worried that the ad would have... Even though I didn't hear anything, I was still worried that somehow it would end up in the video or whatnot. So I'm just editing that out. No, it's not a big deal. I can easily just edit that out and fuse these together. Big whoop. But yeah, it seems like this has to be changed since Classic, which I do appreciate. Okay, just make sure this is fine. Good. The third layer of the Stormpike onion is comprised of the 4 commanders. In this respect, Vandar has mimicked our own glorious Frostwolf defenses. Of course, he'll tell you otherwise, but I digress. The 4 commanders control the ebb and flow of Stormpike guardsmen that fiercely guard Dunbalder. Silence them all, and the Stormpike guardsmen will fall. But then there's one layer left to peel. Chapter 4, the Dunbalder bunkers. As you've undoubtedly noticed, the Stormpike defensive lines are in place to prevent one mighty power move from dismantling the entire army. Before you ask, yes, this is exactly how our own forces are set up, and no. Our own forces are set up, but no, I will not change our defensive structure. They copied us, so why should we have to change? Where was I? Yes. Yes, so the Dunbalder bunkers, which are located in Dunbalder, control the Stormpike defenders, Vandar's most trusted and elite guard units. Destroy these 2 towers and reinforcements will cease to aid Vandar. Will cease to exist. Epilogue. For having done all this, you're left with the center of the onion, the sweet core. Vandar Stormpike, who was the guy we saw out on the field, and yeah, he is the general of this side, and he's had his captain with him. And they're like the only 2 bosses left in AV. There's still the MP, like the one you can summon in. Each side has their own different summon. The Force Sword and the Ice Sword. Ice Sword for Frostwolves, Force Sword for the Night Elves, Alliance side. I'm forgetting. But you know, just of normal NPCs, there's only the captain and the general, and so you saw those two there. Those are the alliance side guys. I'm losing my train of thought. In the past there was more. I think those are the commanders they're referring to, but I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something, some other, like just a burlier guardsman or something left. I've no idea. I feel I need to go run AV again and just poke my head into a couple of bunkers and double check. I'm not running AV again right now. I'll do it again some other time. Sorry, I'm just getting annoyed. Like, I can't really fully remember this, and I swore I remembered this better than I actually am. So it's really annoying me because I thought, like, I swear I knew more about this, and I clearly didn't. Well, I clearly didn't. So it's just very irritating to me. So, anyway. Yeah, as far as I know anyway, there's only the captain and the general. All other buildings are held by normal NPCs. As far as I know, that's the case. So that's what I've been trying to say. I'm just humming and hawing over it. It's like, am I right? Am I misremembering? I have no fucking clue. After having done all of this, you're left with the center of the onion, the sweet core. Vander Stormpike will be left defenseless and alone. Rules of military conduct require that we ask for his surrender before carrying out any executions. Be sure to mention the surrender thing when you see him, then kill him. Vaga Death Grip. You come from Tower Mill. You reek of death. Well, I am a corpse. I have no authorities over such matters. Must speak to our leader, Drektar. I've already sent word of your arrival to Frostwolf Keith. Drektar will be out to speak with you personally. Ooh. That's a great honor. He's in a wheelchair. The wheels aren't turning. It's kind of annoying me, actually. So we've come to seek our aid. He's come seeking our aid. I've been alive for a very long time. That time I've seen and done terrible things. Things that still keep me awake at night. But these terrible things that I have done, the people that I have harmed, I know them, I face them, and I feel remorse for them. But the Forsaken, what do they feel? They ravage the land and destroy everything they touch. How many lives have been lost to their vile poisons? How many innocents have fallen before the Forsaken war machine? Countless lives. Yes, I've done terrible things, but nothing will ever be as terrible as lending aid to the Forsaken. You go back to that spineless orc who will not come see me, and you tell him that the Frostwolf clan will never aid the Forsaken. Not now, not ever. Be gone. Good talk. The guy behind him was Drektar's captain. And you can't just talk to that guy. That was his captain wheeling him out. Wonder why he's in the wheelchair. Is it an age thing? Is it a battle injury? Damn, this thing has got me curious about, there's clearly a story going on there at, Alterac Valley. Like, the guy's now in a wheelchair. But we aren't ever going to get to see that, So it's kind of annoying me. Excuse me. Ah, well. What you gonna do? A warlord Crom Crush's face turns white. They have forsaken us! They have forsaken the Horde! This cannot be! Aye. Crom Crush falls to one knee. Aye, I'll be fine. We'll do this without their aid. The hell with the Frostwolf. These plans you recovered weave an interesting tale, Shandalyn. The Stormpike have been moving their armies from the Alterac Valley into the Four Fingers of Hillsbrad for over a month. Somehow they've managed to secretly get their installations up without forces knowing. Had we not received these plans, they would have marched on us in a week's time, annihilating everything in their path. With these plans, though, we can turn the tables. This is what we must do.
Go forth to victory.
Also, I love the use of shitty camouflage. Sophia's Nays, the first of the Four Fingers of Hillsbrad. This is like shitty. Stormpike have enlisted the help of SI-7 operatives. This is their scouting outpost. They work a human spy network. Be doing some work with them and Kolgorod. But I love the like shitty camouflage and just the outright, you know, wooden platforms, for the guys to stand on. It's just so fucking obvious, and that the orcs didn't notice it. By love, it does actually kind of annoy me to a certain degree because it's kind of, how the fuck didn't they see it? I suppose the wooden cutouts would fool a person from a good distance if they, looking with their naked eye, But the rest. Corrin's dagger, the second of the Four Fingers of Hillsbrad. The Stormpike are using this as a fortified base camp for their soldiers. Used to have a ton of syndicate units here. They're an NPC faction. Enemies of Raven's Holt that I've mentioned quite a few times. They're tied in with Insane in the Membrane. And they are tied in with Rogue Quests as well. The Headland, third of the Four Fingers of Hillsbrad. They train their military here, teaching them new and exciting ways to kill us. This used to be part of the Alterac Mountains before, not Hillsbrad. Then in Canada they were condensed together. Get Gavin's Nays, the fourth and final finger of Hillsbrad. Well, most well protected are the fingers. The treble siege engines are assembled here. Together the fingers represent the grasp of Stormpike closing upon us. They must be destroyed. Just like cut off here, like somewhere like here. This was there was a cut before. You can look up the map yourself online, but somewhere just a bit above Tower Mill, there is a cut, and it was South Shore down here, Alterac Valley up here. It was two separate zones. When classic servers come out, I'll likely do a let's play on them. I probably won't do too much on a Paladin. Paladins and Classic were shite. So I'll probably do a lot of... I'll probably play a Warrior or something. And... well, maybe I'll play a Paladin to just see what they're like. But if I was to show you any dungeons or raids, I'd want to play a Warrior, so I could at least play DPS. Because Pallies in Classic WoW weren't built for tanking or DPS. They had the specs, but they weren't actually anyway good at them, from what I hear. If you wanted to do dungeons or raids, you had to play healer. That goes for all hybrid classes. Druids, Shamans, and Paladins. You had to play healer if you wanted to raid. I did hear talk of a Druid tank in one raid, but it was it was a case of dog driving a car kind of thing, Very unusual. Or, odd, I think it was a sign of how well, how extremely good the guild was, or how well geared they were, or something. I can't remember what the reasoning was, but it wasn't the usual. It was an oddity. So, yeah. while I'm not looking to be a tank, I don't think it's much better for Pally DPS back then. At least going from what I've heard. Who knows how accurate what I've heard is, though. But anyway, I will be leveling. I will probably level up maybe an Alliance and Horde character on the classic side. I'm not sure how much I'll do, but I'll spend a bit of time there. Of course, I have so much WoW stuff ongoing. I have one for each class. One for each class. I have a lot on my plate as it stands. So the classic thing, you know, if I, you know, will be a, since like I've already the alt started, I have, you know, my main, which is taking precedence over the alts. Since I've already these going, the classic thing will take priority under the two of them. So main, alts, classic. If I get some done, I get some done. It'll be, you know, an extra treat or what have you. You know, not a. I can't give it any more priority than that because I already have plenty of other series and whatnot to work on as it stands. So, yeah. But that is something I would like to do. But I, you know, do a classic series. But it wouldn't be, you know, I got my hands full at the moment, basically.
Speak, friend.
The time to act is now. The Stormpike must be crushed. We must break the fingers of the Stormpike if we're to stop their incursion. Kramosh hands you a small package. Within this package are 4 high-yield goblin explosives. You're to infiltrate each of the 4 fingers, Safara's Naze, Corin's Dagger, the Headland, and Gavin's Naze, and plant a goblin pocket nuke at each. Once you've done that, as well as all that Melsera asks of you, return to me.
May your blades never dull.
I'm listening.
So you're to be our saviour. Very well then, I'll bond myself with you. Through this bond I'll be able to see through your eyes and communicate with you in the field. According to the plans you brought to us, the Stormpike have enlisted the aid of SI-7 at Safara's Naze to the north. SI-7 are comprised solely of humans that we are able to use to our benefit. Take my mirror and travel north. Engage in combat with SI-7 and bring them near death. Once they are injured, use the mirror.
Embrace the shadow.
Ah, you're gonna call on a Banshee to pick up a wounded SI-7 agent, presumably to possess them. I'll go over and do those quests. Well, I'll start up here and swing down, and I'll do that on the end. Also, I never did end up going over here. Feels weird not running around gathering stuff, but it's presumably for the best. While it means less money intake, it does mean I'm getting these done that bit quicker. So that does, you know, count for something. Forest creepers. Call them the meteor. Come on. Ooh. Wasn't to kill it. Dual wielding maces. I remember a character in Outlands. There we go. The Banshee Queen has plans for you, human. Caught in the gaze of the Banshee. I remember, damn it. Shit. Sorry, my mind blanked. You know how I was saying I remember? Yeah, I don't. I completely forgot what I was going to say. I remember now. In Shalrat City, there is an NPC. She has a rogue training school. She turns up again in Warlords that you're in, if you have one. And she's bitching about rogues using stuff other than knives, like maces and axes. Job done. Nowhere to run. 4-pack. That's creepy. Apparently he fell. Shit! Fucking imp! Thank you, Jeebus. Imp. Use that. I need to go and get some proper food. What I have is too low level for me. It's not really that beneficial.